All right, I guess we are live. Just a second. Just cross checking on YouTube. All right, perfect. We are live. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome back to all of you into another segment, into another episode of our marvelous and powerful show, which we named as the U Turn. You know, there is a specific reason behind naming this show as a U Turn because we believe that irrespective of wherever in your life you are right now, there is a chance that you can make a U turn towards more abundance, more prosperity, more wealth, and a better health. Doesn't matter wherever you are. But to do so, we must have solid foundation, information, and ideas to elevate our mind to do the same. You know why? Because we are living in a world where our mind is so much occupied with already existing ideas. We are living a conditional way of life where we do things not because we want to, we do things because we are programmed to do those things. Now, one of the major elements that I know you are going to agree with me that holds many people back in their journey towards success is fear. Now, whenever we go after something that we really love, whenever we go after something that excites us, bang, like there is fear. Some people have a fear of public speaking, fear of talking to a loved one, fear of proposing somebody, even the fear of starting the business, the fear of maybe, driving, the fear of heights, the fear of water. There are many kinds of fear we all have. But do we know that every single fear is originated in the same common place? And to add on to that, do we know that there is a same method to overcome every single fear we have? All it takes is an understanding of the mind, understanding of the fear, and a shift in perception. What is that shift in perception, and where does that fear arrives, and how to really overcome that fear? That's what we are going to discuss with you today. In the first part of today's episode, Shekhar will take you through the root cause, where fear exists, what it does, and how to overcome it. He will give you a practical U-turn step. And then once Shekhar finished with his presentation, I'll be here for the last 10 to 15 minutes, and I'll show you how to change your perception towards fear. Because once you change your perception, everything changes. So I hope you are ready for a marvelous and amazing, powerful U-turn show and episode number 12. Shekhar, over to you to take our audience from this point onwards to the next half part of the presentation.
Okay.
The stage is all yours.
Yeah, I'll just share my screen.
Perfect. And in the meanwhile, Shekhar is sharing the screen. I want all of you to let us know in the chat box from which part of the world you're tuning in with us today. And what is your one fear that you want to overcome? Go to the chat box and let us know right now. All right, Shekhar, we can see the slides.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, so everyone, welcome to our brand new show, The U-Turn. And today in episode 12, we are going to see how to handle fear. In today's episode, first, we will see the difference between normal fear and abnormal fear. Whatever fear we have, it can be categorized as normal and abnormal. What they are, we're going to have a look into that. And then we will see how the law of substitution is the answer to overcome any fear that we have. It could be fear of anything. All we need to do is just apply the law of substitution. And then in the end, we'll take a U-turn. I'll give you a simple exercise that you can start doing from today onwards to overcome any fear that you have. Let's begin by understanding the difference between normal and abnormal fear. You see, normal fear is of two types only: the fear of falling and the fear of noise. These are two types of fears that has been given to us by the creative power that made this universe. And these two fears have been given to us for our self-preservation. You see, when we are walking on the street and we see a loud car honking its horns, we step aside for self preservation. We don't want to be on that road from where that car is coming or the truck might be behind us. You see, when we are falling, we are reacting in a way, we are trying to grab everything from our hands that is, in the most vicinity that we can have it. Why do we do that? Because we are trying to preserve ourselves. We don't want to fall. We are trying to prevent ourselves from falling. And that's why we go, absurd while we are falling, because we don't know what to do. We use our hands just to catch the nearest object that we can so that we don't fall. These are the only two types of fear that is normal. It exists in us for self preservation. Apart from this, every other fear that you have, it has all been given to you through your surroundings. You absorbed it through your schools, your offices, your colleagues, your friends, your family. It came all from the outside. And you cannot blame anyone for this. What happened was, when they were discussing something about fear, something that was fearful, we got emotionally involved with their statements. And that is causing us to think things like, this can't last. There will be a recession. I feel sure we will go bankrupt. The sales will drop. These are actually not our fears. These are not natural fears. These are not normal fears. These are abnormal fears that we have picked up from our surroundings. And we have to replace these fears with confidence, understanding that whatever ideas we need, all we need to do is just put that wish to the subconscious mind, and our subconscious mind will bring the answers to us in the right time when it is needed. Now, from here, let's go and understand how the law of substitution is the answer to fear. It could be anything that you fear. Once you start applying the law of substitution, you will not be fearing it anymore, because you will be replacing fear. You will not be fighting with fear. While using the law of substitution, you will be replacing fear of anything with confidence to handle it, with faith to reach your goals. Dr. Joseph Murphy tells us that the great law of substitution is the answer to fear. Whatever you fear has its solution in the form of your desire. If you are sick, you desire health. If you're in the prison of fear, you desire freedom. Expect the good. Mentally concentrate on the good. And know that your subconscious mind answers you always. It never fails. What this means is that while applying the law of substitution, it doesn't matter what we fear, whether it is going on stage and speaking, whether going for swimming, it could be anything that we fear. We need to expect the good outcome of whatever it is that we're going to do. Whether it be going and speaking on a stage, whether it be going and swimming, we always have to expect the good picture. We have to mentally concentrate on the good. That is how we will be using the law of substitution to build faith in us. And fear will slowly be replaced. We did not choose to attract that fear. We did not choose to get involved in that fear, but we have it because we grew up in that surrounding and we've got nobody to blame. We need to understand right now that it can be replaced, and that is the work we need to do. We need to replace all our fears by using the law of substitution and expecting only the good in whatever it is that we are thinking, and mentally concentrating only on the good of whatever outcome we are thinking about. Which brings us to the U-turn. And in today, you will be taking a U-turn to overcome your fear. Before that, what you need to do is make a list of all your abnormal fears. Apart from the fear of falling, apart from the fear of noise, what other things you think causes fear in you? Write it down, make a list. You don't have to finish the list today. You can take a couple of days. Maybe some ideas will come to you tomorrow. Maybe you'll recall something from your past day after tomorrow. The thing is to keep building the list and see what are the fear patterns that you are entertaining. It's happening subconsciously. So what we need to do is apply the law of substitution over here. We need to practice the law of substitution by being in a state of gratitude, by thanking for everything that we have in our lives right now, by writing a gratitude journal every single day, thanking for everything that we have and thanking that our goal has already been accomplished. This is the vibration we need to be in every single day, from morning till the time we go to bed. We are the ones who are responsible to keep hold of this feeling throughout the day. We cannot let anybody else get us deviated from this feeling. No matter what someone says, no matter what the pressure of the job is, it is our responsibility to make sure that we are applying the law of substitution throughout the day. But we can do that only when we have a list of our fears ready. We have to face our fear. Only then the death of fear will be certain. And how do we face it? By building confidence, by building faith. And faith, as we have discussed earlier in so many of our episodes, it comes through proper studying and application of the natural laws of the universe. That's how you develop faith, by seeing the laws in action, by knowing that although these laws are non-physical, they have an existence. For if they did not exist, they would not be working. And how are they working? They are working by showing you the results in your life. So whatever it is that you fear, just make a list of it. It's an abnormal fear. It has been picked up. We don't need to go back to from where we picked it up. All we need to do is just acknowledge that this is something that we fear. It's okay. And then what we need to do is apply the law of substitution. Keep on practicing in your prayers, in your meditation, that you have already achieved your goals. And then keep on working with a definite plan every single day. That is how you work with the law of substitution. Slowly but surely, fear will be replaced with faith and confidence. If you found today's video entertaining, if you found it useful, if you found it informative, then please give us a thumbs up. What do you think about today's content on the subject of fear and how to handle it? Please write something in the comment below and let us know what you're thinking about it. Share this video with someone you think would benefit after going through this video and doing the exercises that we are recommending. And subscribe to our official Human Potential and Growth YouTube channel. In this way, every time we put out a new video of valuable content on this channel, you will be notified of it immediately. On that note, I'd like to thank you. And now I'd like to hand over the rest of the presentation to Sukhveer. Over to you, Sukhveer.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Shekhar. You have given them, very crucial ideas about fear. And from this point onward, now I'm going to take you a little bit into the deep science of, what actually it means to overcoming the fear, or how we can literally overcome fears. Because I know Shekhar has given you a layout. He told you about, what the fear is, where it originates, and the U-turn also. Now let me go a little bit into the side of the the mind side of the thing. Now when I say the mind side of the thing, what do I mean by that? I mean is that the idea that how we can shift our perception. As I told you, that ultimate objective is to shift your perception about your fears. Now, how can someone shift his perception about his fears, or what someone can do to shift his perception? Now, I know you all have used, compass in your mobile phone. Now, what does that compass do? It shows you the direction where you have to move in. And if you find out that you're moving in the wrong direction, you will make adjustments and you will reshift your direction. Now, look at the fear as not something that you should worry about, not something that is there to make you feel bad, and not something that is there to, to make you feel that this cannot be done, to make you feel, oh, that's out of my reach or things like that. Instead of that, what you have to do is that you have to look at your fears as something that I love to call as a positive indicator. Now, what does that mean? That means whenever you experience fear in your life, remind yourself the fear is there because it is reminding me that I'm moving in the right direction, but there is this certain point that I have to overcome. In other words, let's say you want to be a public speaker and you have a fear to go in front of audience. Now, you know that there is something you need to improve in yourself. So there is nothing to feel bad about it. Instead, you should feel so grateful that I am on the right track and I know where to make adjustments. Most people are troubled right now out there in the world because they do not know what is the trouble. They take fear from a completely wrong perspective. But that wrong perspective can lead you towards a lot of damages in your life. Now imagine if you just change the way you look at things. That's one of the great author Wayne Dyer said, many times ago. He said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. In other words, once you change your perception towards life, towards what is happening on the outside, you will ultimately become so much better. So the idea is to change your perception. Rather than looking at fear something that is scary, looking at fear something that is stopping you, you should look at fear as something that is helping you, that is making you aware about the changes that has to take place in order for you to achieve your goal. Now let's take a few more examples. Let's say you want to write a book. Now one of your first fear may be how I can write a book. I don't know about this subject. I am not an expert. I'm not this, I'm not that. But I can tell you, we all have stories. You're worrying about whether your story is perfect enough or not. Remember, there are people who really want to be in a position where you are right now. And the position where you are right now, you are in that position just because you have learned something in your life so far. So that is a shift in perception that I really want you to take out from this today's session. So whenever you experience fear from this point onward, shift the way you look at fear. Rather than seeing it as something bad, look at it as something really impressive. Look at your fear as something that is helping you. Look at your fear as something that is there to help you to grow. All right. Now, if you can see the whiteboard, just let me know. I hope you can see. Yes, you can see. All right. Now, I want you to look in on the whiteboard for a minute. Okay. Now, Shekhar talks about fear, short while ago. Now, we have to understand the only place where the fear originates and where the fear ends is your own mind. Okay. Now, what is fear? Fear is a belief. It is an assumption that you have in your subconscious mind. Now, you can only understand it once you know what is subconscious mind, right? Now, this is our mind right here. We have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind and we have what we call as a body right here. Okay. Now, mind and body are connected and we experience fear at the level of action, but why we feel it. Now, remember, fear, it is right here in your subconscious mind. And what it is a assumption, a false assumption that may be based upon the ideas that consciously or unconsciously went into your mind. Maybe when you was a little kid, when you have no ability to think about yourself, because when you was a little kid, this is how you was. Your subconscious mind at that time was wide open, and all the fears from your family, all the fears from the environment in which you was living, and all the fears from everybody around you was going into your subconscious mind. And now when you're an adult, these fears are right there conditioned in the form of a paradigm. It is an assumption that you have made. Some people are afraid of talking to people because many people in their family are afraid of talking to people. That become a generational paradigm, and then we call it that is genetic conditioning. But then what you have to do, understand that if you have a fear right here, the fear is there because you are trying to do something that you have never done before. You are trying to go after a big goal that you have never gone before. So what is the solution? Shift your perception. Now, what is perception? Perception is one of your higher faculties right here in your conscious mind. Okay. That means, now what happened when you have a fear? The fear at the subconscious mind controls what you're thinking at the conscious mind. Now, what you have to do is that you have to change your perception about your fear. That means rather than looking at fear that why I cannot do it or why I am stuck, look at the ideas what you're grateful for. Can you learn about what you're afraid of? Is there anything that you can do about something that is making you feel fear? And once you do that, my dear friend, life is going to become an absolutely marvelous journey. And that's what actually life is. That's what actually, the whole life is all about. Now, you want to believe it or you don't want to believe it, that is up to you. But the idea here is that we all can achieve whatever we want to achieve. And it all takes one idea to change your life. In other words, replace the fear with the faith, because both demand you to believe in something that you cannot see. Both demand you to believe in something that is invisible. So the choice is yours. You make the choice. What do you want to believe? What you're entitled to believe. And once you do that, the whole life can be incredibly different. Incredible different. So, on that note, I want to say thank you to everybody. And I want to say thank you to Shekhar for really bringing up a cool presentation. And, Shekhar talked about gratitude. He said, be grateful for whatever you have. He touched on the point of gratitude. And if any one of you really want to learn a step-by-step process, how to do gratitude, go to Amazon or go to Flipkart. I'll be sharing the links in the description of the video later on. We have an absolutely wonderful gratitude journal available online. If you are from US, UK, Canada, or wherever you are, you don't have to worry. Our gratitude journal is available on Amazon.com. You can go there and you can buy it. If you are from India, go to Amazon.in, go to Flipkart, or go to notionpress.com. Go from any of these websites, just type there gratitude journal by Sukhbir Singh and you will get it. But you don't have to type, because I'll be sharing the links with you later on. Buy that journal. You don't have to put your mind to thinking what to do, what not to do. That journal will give you a step-by-step process. It is a set of 4 pages that you have to do every day. You have to start with writing gratitude. Then there's a little meditation exercise. Then there is a little forgiveness exercise, and then action planner. And if you use that journal for next 30 days, I can bet you your life will be completely different. So we will be sharing the link. Keep an eye for that. Keep an eye on our social media platform if you are there. Make sure that you follow us on all our social media platforms so that you don't miss out on the amazing stuff and the amazing information we have for you. On that note, thank you so much for being here. If you like our video, subscribe our channel, share our channel with your family, with your friends, and we will love to see you back again next week in the episode number 30. Thank you so much, Shekhar. I'll see you
Thank you so much,
next week.
Sukhbir.